Alright, welcome to Europa Universalis 4. I am Fleming, and we're going to be playing with the new Art of War DLC. It's been a while since I've played EU4 for YouTube. And since then, Res Publica and Wealth of Nations have come out. Last time I played was, I guess, the multiplayer games with Conquest of Paradise. So, now there's a bunch of changes in the game mechanics. But I don't really want to go into those too much, as I'm not an expert on all of the changes and things like that. One of the things I really want to experiment with here is there are new mechanics with the Reformation and stuff like that. So we're wanting to play with somebody in the north of Europe, or I guess historically France had some trouble with the Reformation, but in this game they normally don't. I was thinking we would play as Sweden. I played as Sweden in one of the multiplayer games, and that didn't go so well because I did a strategy that was a bit bold for the situation, and perhaps not necessarily the best option. Okay, so as Sweden, we start with a personal union over us. Denmark has us, Norway, as in a personal union, and Holstein as vassals. Unfortunately, we don't really have any way of getting out of this from a technical standpoint. But at the beginning of the game, like there isn't something we can do aside from declaring war to get out of it. At the beginning of the game, we have... well, he doesn't have an heir, so it is possible for that 28-year-old king to just die. And then we'll be free. Do I want to bank on that? I'm not sure. I do kind of want to go for a slower start. Because there are various mechanics that have been implemented since I had that thing happen during the multiplayer game. Notably, I don't want to click on that. There's this thing here called support independence. Now, obviously this guy's saying no, and you can see why at the bottom. Neutral, attitude, yada yada yada. But it's actually pretty close here. If we look at, say, Bohemia, Bohemia has a minus 1,000 for cannot reach Denmark. And that is true of a lot of the people around us. Now, unfortunately, Denmark often will ally with Lithuania, which is what happened to me in that war in the multiplayer game some time ago. Thankfully, the Poland thing tends to happen after that, and which breaks the alliance. So, who can we get on our side to support our independence right away? Well, Scotland. But I've done a little bit of research on this, so I know offhand who they are, and I believe Novgorod, yes. So, other than that, Pomerania usually is pretty close. I guess not. Maybe I guess some of these things are random. But if you can see here, the Hansa is very close to it. So, I think if we improve relations with the Hansa once our guys come back, we can try that. The Hansa's pretty strong. Now, Denmark has 9,000 troops, and Norway has 6,000 troops at the beginning of the game. We actually have 10, so we don't have more than them, but we have more than either of them apart. Holstein, I can't see. So we start with an nominally stronger position than Denmark. So declaring war right away seems like it might be a good idea, but it's not, because the AI will not care about time between the beginning of the wars anymore. And Denmark has some friends they can call on, so we're going to be a little bit careful right now. Okay, we have a 322, which we share here. We have a focus in military power, which is good, because it gets us the first military tech faster, which is nice. Although I'd kind of like to remove the focus, I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. Because you kind of want all the points at the beginning. We're getting enough admin points to get the first idea group pretty quickly, which is what I want to save that movement for. I think I want to move it to a Diplo thing, so that I can get some early Diplo shenanigans done. Because the goal in the end is to form Scandinavia and do all that stuff. The last time I played as Castile and had a similar cultural union goal, that's what we're going to go for now. Short term, future. Now, unfortunately, we're not in the HRE, but we can change that if we wished. I think we can change that. But we'd have to do some shenanigans to do that. So we can't do the whole 30 Years' War thing. We actually start with a shamanist province in Lapland. And because of the new unrest mechanics, Sweden's actually kind of in an interesting situation. Because there are some provinces that have autonomy, as in all of Finland does. This province. And a couple of provinces down here. Yeah, Småland, or however you pronounce that. And Dalaskogen has some autonomy. So what you can do with this autonomy is that you can raise it or lower it, and it'll affect the unrest plus or minus 10, depending on whether you raise it, lower it, and it will increase the autonomy and the unrest. Unrest is basically they changed the way the revolt risk works, so it's not just random stuff popping up. It's a random chance of the unrest growing, basically. And it's sort of like Victoria 2, where you build up and build up and build up, and eventually it'll break. So you can see here that the actual unrest is minus 7.93. And if we look at our unrest, political unrest thingy, okay, I guess it's not going to open. That we have a shamanist zealot thing that will rise up in 111 years, which means basically never. As part of the unrest is, well, I know, I guess that basically is forever. But if we start sending a missionary there, which we will do, since it'll take 66 months, but it's okay. The unrest goes up to 7.56 because of the active missionary, and the missionary will take a long time. But once it's finished, and you can see here that it will take 22 years, which is way less than the actual, dude will take. So we're it'll take a little over 5 years for that to finish. What was I thinking about? Oh, right. That'll cost us a little bit of money. But the other provinces here, if we go here to this one, lower the autonomy here. It lowers it by 25. We can't do anything in Finland because it's all below 10%. But if we do this, boom, 2.1%. And that'll go down after a while. But as you can see here, it'll take 83 years for there to be an uprising there. And this effect will run out before 83 years is out. So let's go ahead and go to here and also decrease the autonomy. So now we're good. These provinces won't rise up. I mean, it says they will, but they won't, because it'll take so long that it won't actually do it. Not before the effect runs out, anyway. It takes 30 years for these effects to run out. You can do that every 30 years, and the uprising won't happen for 80 years. Although you can get unlucky, and you can get a higher chance. I mean, it's basically an estimate, but it's very unlikely that we'll get a revolt. And we'll get a pop-up when that happens, when we're getting close to one. So we should select a mission. Well, we have improved relations with Denmark. We obviously do not want to do that. Improve our prestige, since we can't declare war on anybody. We can only really get that through missions and decisions and stuff like that. That's unlikely as well. It is nice that we get stability, but nah. Achieve religious unity we're actually trying to do. It'll take 5 years, but it's the only mission we can perceivably do in that moment. Now, normally you would have to pick things like do alliances and rivals and stuff like that, but as a junior member of a personal union, we cannot actually do any of that. So, yeah. We have two cultures, Swedish and Finnish, that are our friendo bros, and then we have some Sami up here in Lapland, so they don't like us. We'll probably get a mission to convert them. I don't know if we will do that, but whatever. This is like a one-base tax province. It doesn't really matter that much. We can build an earth rampart in several provinces, actually. We'll get missions to do that, and they'll give us some tradition, so I'll wait until then. It's unlikely that that'll actually matter, so whatever. And we actually make quite a bit of money, and have some force limits available. Now, first things first, though, we might want to pick up some advisors. What do we got here? Prestige, production efficiency. Well, this is level 1. We'll pick him up. 1 ducat a month, whatever. Trade efficiency, that's really good. Friedrich Torsten, son. And I guess discipline. Nothing that really saves us any money, but we're down to about 3 ducats a month. Now we have 3 barks, 7 galleys, and 5 transports. Let's take the barks. Now galleys are actually pretty good for us because they are the Baltic is entirely an inland sea. The Baltic node is right here, and I think Stockholm. No, Stockholm isn't the node. What's the node? I guess it's just in the ocean. Whatever. There's no estuaries for this or anything? Well, whatever. This doesn't matter that much. Denmark has some dudes here. Danish pretender rebels, but they're going to kill him. It's not really going to matter. If this pretender does take over, which is almost impossible, then I think it breaks our personal union. Alright, so we have 47 more gold. Idea groups, probably going to do a Diplo one early, since Diplo is the tech you need the least at the beginning. And military is the one that you need the most. Admin probably won't be coring very much in the future, but who knows. We should build some ships. Let's move these guys to Stockholm. So let's build a couple of barks. I'll probably replace most of my galleys with barks over the near future. Okay, Scotland and Novgorod supporting my independence. Okay, so one of the things we want to do immediately is go over here to the Hansa. It's just a minus 22. We improve our relations with them, they will likely join us. Okay, so Lithuania, the truth of the Ottomans, allied with Brandenburg. It's a friendly attitude towards Denmark, so they'll probably join them. I am going to kind of overstep their, things, and I'm going to improve relations with Poland instead. I led with Denmark, as I thought. So, that's basically what you've got to work with at the beginning. Cessation of church functions. Noble families were often granted control over church lands and appointments. Didn't pause that. Pause. Were made in many states in exchange for cash contributions to the Crown's efforts. The Crown, of course, lost control of some revenues this way in exchange for short-term boosts in revenue. What? We can gain 61.81 ducats. We gain cessation of church functions. Tax modifier goes down and papal influence goes up, or we can decline and lose once. I don't think that is a good idea. Papal influence is entirely different now. That's not the Papal States. I don't think we're a major player in it now, but basically you just, if you have a cardinal, you can invest papal influence, and then you will get a certain chance of becoming a curia controller. You can also spend your papal influence on a bunch of different stuff, of which gaining a stability, mercantilism, you can get some prestige. That seems like an absurdly low amount of manpower for that, considering how much a stability costs. I got a random dude. I don't know, if you really needed a theologian or something for a decision. Okay. Holstein is not who we want to talk to. The Hansa is actually pretty powerful. Minus 41, but the positives are going up too. So that's good. There's really nothing we can do but sit here and wait. Or declare war immediately, which... They went over here and killed their troops. Well, they're allied with Lithuania. No, that's foolish. Would anyone else support my independence? No. Muscovy? Why would they care? They can't reach them. England. You're in the 100 Years' War. And they wouldn't anyway because they actually don't give a shit about Denmark. So, alright. We're in this... Yeah. Okay. They're friendly towards Denmark for now. So no chance of Pomerania helping. That's a little bit random. I've seen them help, so... I should build some more ships now. Since I got money from that money from an event. Yep, that'll be my entire force limit. I suppose I could build some more dudes too. Stockholm's about to finish its boat, so I'll go ahead and do that. Get a good mix of infantry and cavalry. I'm not going to buy a military guy yet until I can actually start thinking about declaring the war. So, go to the Baltic. I should replace my galleys with light ships. Since I'm not actually going to do the war early. I'll keep a few, I guess. I don't know the money to do that. I should have waited until I had the money. So I make 4.9 ducats now. What are our traders doing? Pushing trade in Krakow and Novgorod. I think that's probably the best idea. Our capital node's over here and they're pushing it to that. Boo! We hate your king. Well, we did get super lucky. You can't really rely on that. I mean, a 28-year-old is probably going to successfully have kids in this game. Oh, works. Oh, I'm just short a gold, a ducat. A monies. Hey, why did you do that? Bark. Okay, so we can build one more unit. That'll be our force limit there. This boat's almost done. Alright, the Hansa. Let's see you now. Yes, okay. So let's remove our dude from there. Ask to support independence. Oh, something I should do is... Where's that thing? It's a thing that shows you which people you're interested in. Here we go. Let's include them. Let's include England. I don't know why I picked Connaught. Hungary, Lithuania, Poland, Livonian Order, these all these guys. And France. Should always be paying attention to France. Sure, Bohemia and Brandenburg. Pomerania. Okay. You just pick neighbors, and it'll pick everybody who's near you. But that's not actually that great. Let's just put Europe on there. We'll learn everything. Vassal Mazovia. March in Moldavia. A march is sort of like a super vassal. You can't annex them, but they're stronger. So we're kind of waiting for this Lithuanian Poland personal union now. We can afford to wait a little bit. Let's try to speed up a little bit. Probably have another boat. Oh. Just sitting there not protecting trade. Alright. Dudes in Novgorod are doing a good job. Making about 3 gold now. This boat's almost done. I'll tell it to go home at war. Alright, I need to go back to improving relations with Poland. Now, Mecklenburg declared war on Pomeranian, huh? It says they can get to Denmark. I'm not sure how they get to Denmark. I guess military access and stuff makes sense to me. That's interesting. That minus 88, that's almost about, that's almost close enough. Yeah. This is not close. So it looks like we'd want to, well, Mecklenburg is also allied with the Teutonic Order, okay. Unfortunately, my quote-unquote friends are also building troops. Let's get another infantry here. This is not the kind of thing I want at the moment. I'm gonna change the capital. Brandenburg declares war on the Teutonic Order. Which is to be expected. I guess we'll play the long game for now. Boats. Apparently I have more boats than I should have, and that's one of the reasons I'm losing money. Okay. I should have gotten rid of another one. Okay. Now I should be below my force limit. Yes, okay. There we go, that's better. Missioner is about third done. It's good, we're almost at positive prestige. The normal outcome is happening here in France. Almost never see the AI retain these influenza. Can lose trade power, goods produced, tax modifier. Can lose part of it. I don't want it to spread. We'll do that. This Oster button over here anyway. Whatevs. Oh, this is a... There's a new thing that shows you the, what's it called? River crossings and stuff. That's pretty cool. Alright. So the first idea group, I guess I'll go for probably diplomatic or influence. The first levels of diplomatic are better than the first levels of influence for what I'm doing, but the later ones of both of them are both very, very attractive for the kind of strategies I'm trying to do. Yeah, just ignoring the naval game here seems like a bad idea. But for now, getting my money up is probably the best thing I can do at the moment. Their total navy size is pretty high. And it's like 25 or something. I can't muster that much. Hungary? Okay. That's interesting, I guess. I just can't stand having them in different places. I'm controlling most of the trade here now. That's good. When you're in negative prestige and you can't go to war, there's not really any penalty to taking on more negative prestige. And it's only 10. By the time I'm out of this, it's not going to matter. Almost done with the Hansa. Let's see if the Hansa actually gets bigger. Actually losing to Bremen, Lüneburg, and Oldenburg. Huh. Okay. It's not really that important. Well, I guess it is, because we wanted them to be fresh and able to fight when things come to blows, I guess. Let's get rid of a couple of the cogs, actually. I don't need that many cogs. Most of the areas I'd want to go to, I have straits to anyway. Really just Gotland. I do have a score on Gotland, though. It's a new thing we can do from the last time I was playing, really. I abandoned cores.